Hey, good morning, everyone. Brian Hoops here with Midwest Market Solutions. This is Market Insider TV and our opening commentary. It's Thursday morning, July the 10th. Good morning, everyone. And thanks for joining us here this morning. We, of course, have export sales on Thursday morning, as we normally do, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. Let's look at the overnight markets as natural gas bouncing a little bit after making some new lows yesterday. Crude oil down, which has been the pattern the last several days. Trade lower in the overnight, then rally during the day session, and we've done that about 3 days in a row. Stock market just a little softer in here. Corn, penny and 3/4 lower, along with soybeans. But look at the wheat starting to bounce. About 5 higher in Chicago, Kansas City, 7 higher. If you've been following us on our newsletter and our closing comments, we've been talking about the wheat market as the one that should bounce in here. We're not going to find much in the way of harvest pressure any longer. Nobody really wants to sell their cash wheat at these price levels. That's going to limit the downside here for the wheat market. And normally we see some sort of a little bit of a bounce. Now, I don't know that there's a way to really buy calls or futures and make money off of that because there's so much carry in the marketplace. But you can try and buy the front month and see if you can catch a little bit of a bounce here in the wheat market. All right, let's talk about some of the news, and we have a lot of news, a lot of things to talk about. I'll be doing RFD TV today and tomorrow. I was on yesterday morning as well as last Monday. So we'll be talking about all the news here. Hope you have a chance to tune in for those segments. And if you don't, check us out online at MidwestMarketSolutions.com. We'll end up sending you the link to our TV segments, as well as our opening, closing TV comments, and any other news that breaks through our text and Twitter feed. All right, so let's start talking about some news here this morning. Of course, weather. We always talk about weather, and we're getting into the 19th, 20th of weather conditions, 6, 10-day and 8 to 14-day maps. Really not much change, which gives traders confidence that we're going to see these forecasts verified because they continue to show up each and every day on on model runs. If these models are flipping back and forth, then you don't have much of any confidence at all. It's expected by July 20th, about half the crop is going to be pollinated, and it's going to come under very nice conditions, very good growing conditions, very high yield potential for the grain market, especially for corn right now. Corn production forecast at 15.7 billion bushels. This is estimates for Friday's supply and demand report at 11 o'clock Central Time. That'd be down slightly from last month. Yields virtually unchanged from a month ago. I don't see the USDA changing yields much. It's a little too early. They have cut yields 6 times, but only raised yields 3 times in this July report. Last time they raised yields was 2003. I don't think that they would cut yields, and I think it's unlikely that they'll raise yields at this point in time, especially with poor ratings in one of the biggest growing states of Illinois. Soybean production is forecast 4.329 billion bushels, down slightly from a month ago with yields virtually unchanged from last month. USDA has cut soybean yields 5 times, but has in the recent history here, but has never raised yields, and I don't see them raising at this point in time. I think they just leave things unchanged in this report, making it a somewhat boring report. All wheat production down slightly from a month ago at 1.912 billion bushels compared to 1.921 a month ago. Export sales were released this morning. They're very strong. Combination of a cheaper dollar and much lower prices here stimulating some demand. We've seen some private export sales this week as well as last week. Wheat sales, 20.9 million bushels, a good number. Old crop corn at 49.7, very outstanding. And new crop corn at a very strong 35 million as well. Old crop beans at 19.8. New crop came in at 9.1 million bushels. China notably absent from any of this buying. Mexico's a featured buyer of corn. They've also bought some soybeans. And we'll continue to keep eyes on who's buying what, but it looks like China's going to remain out of the export market. Big news in the cattle here. USDA Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins has ordered the closure of livestock trade through the southern ports of entry effective immediately. So a new case of screwworm has been discovered 370 miles south of the U.S.-Mexican border, and that is going to, I think, be supportive for the cattle market. We've seen this opening and closing before. Market may be getting a little bit numb to it, but the fact that we're closed again, I think, really tells us that we don't have a handle, or Mexico does not have a handle on the screwer room virus. So we're going to keep this border closed for, I think, a very long time here in the new free trade. That's my opinion, is they can't keep opening and closing this border as they don't have it under control at all. So we'll see, I think, a very positive effect in cattle this morning. All right, no cash cattle trade yet. We'll be updating text and Twitter feed if we get some developments. Have a great day. Good luck, as always. Good trading, and we'll hope to talk to you soon. This has been Brian Hoops.